Hello, good evening. This is Qtv News. I am Mamudu Gajaga and thank you for joining us. Now the main local business and sports news headlines. On the second day of the National Assembly's resumption, members saw the much anticipated Access to Information Bill through the consideration stage. As the crime crackdown continues, the police announced the arrest of 2 suspects and the confiscation of cannabis following a tip-off from the public. We hear about the launch of an anti-corruption clubs in schools. And in business news, 31 budding entrepreneurs have successfully completed a start and improve your business training program. In sports news, the final and much delayed Africa Cup of Nations qualifier between Sierra Leone and Benin finally went ahead today, with Sierra Leone sealing the final qualification place. And we have a special public announcement about free treatment for those with cleft lip and palate conditions. Those were the main news headlines, and now the news in detail. Welcome and thank you if you're just joining us. This is Qtv News. National Assembly members on Tuesday continued and completed the consideration stage of the Access to Information Bill 2021. Once enacted, it will compel all public bodies to create, keep, organize and maintain their dealings in a manner which facilitates access to information on request. As Aliu Sise reports, the bill is now set for a 3rd reading.
This has started the consideration stage in July last year, but said it was late at the time of the scheduled date and impossible to finish the process. Hence the decision to move and adopt a motion to postpone the process to a later date. At the continuation of the process on Tuesday, almost a year now, deputies took time to scrutinize the bill close by close, making amendments where necessary. The Access to Information Bill 2021 was first tabled by the former Attorney General and Justice Minister Abubakar Tambadou on 5 December 2019. Thereafter, it was referred to the Assembly of Business Committee, who committed the bill to the Select Committee on Education, Training and ICT for scrutiny and to report back to the plenary. The committee engaged all concerned stakeholders on the draft bill. The stakeholders included the Information Ministry, the Gambia Press Union, the Gambia Federation for the Disabled, and the Westminster Foundation for Democracy. The bill provides that every person has a right to access information from a public body, after making a request in writing to the information officer of the concerned body. As a result, the bill provides that suitably trained information officers are appointed at all public bodies. The bill also provides for the establishment of an independent commission to ensure that decisions and disclosure of government information shall be reviewed independently. According to the Attorney General and Justice Minister Dauda A. Jallow, the bill provides, among other things, that a commissioner will not engage in any trade for economic gain.
Looking the way we drafted it as it is, it has forbidden any commissioner from being involved in any kind of trade that he is going to earn something. This could be agriculture. This could be lecturing.
This was one of the contentious clauses requiring members to vote after several interventions.
If you think that what you are doing is lucrative and your vision is more of profit-oriented, you can stay in the private sector and make business.
The essence here is they want to have very independent commissioners, and we expect that they will be fully paid to compensate for any other thing so that they can concentrate on the job. That's the idea, and the committee was okay with that.
If the minister exactly is kind of interpreting what that very clause mean, then definitely I am not convinced.
When it limitation on outside work does not mean that the person will not own anything.
The results are 23 in favor, that is 23 ayes, and 8 not in favor. So the ayes have it. So now clause section 46, limitation on outside work, now stand part of the bill.
Once passed, it will compel all public bodies to create, keep, organize and maintain its information in a manner which facilitates access to information. However, an information officer may refuse to grant access to information which will cause substantial prejudice to the security or defense of the state, as well as endanger the life, health, safety or privacy of an individual. As a consequence, in most jurisdictions, sensitive personal information is exempt from access to information request. If the bill passes into law, a person found to have committed an offense by concealing or destroying public information could face a fine of between $50,000 to $250,000 or a jail term of between 6 months to 1 year. The bill is now set for first reading on 22nd June 2021. Access to information, particularly for journalists in the country, remains a problem. Many public bodies simply refuse to release any information requested, not just that which is secret or confidential. It is hoped that the intention of the bill will go beyond enactment to enforcement and having information shared for the greater good. Reporting for QTV News, I am Aliu Sise.
On Monday, officers of the Police Intervention Unit arrested 2 suspected drug traffickers in Banyaka and recovered 4 bags containing 29 bundles of suspected cannabis. However, police say 2 other suspects are still at large. Antoine Esonyasi has the details.
Following a tip-off by villagers in Banyaka, members of a section of the Police Intervention Unit VIP platoon, led by SI Alu Jaju, who are taking part in the ongoing Operation Zero Crime, quickly moved in, arresting 2 of 4 suspects, Lamin Manjang and Haruna Tamba, who are currently in police custody helping officers in their investigations. 4 bags containing 29 bundles of suspected cannabis clandestinely hidden in this large locally made metal container was recovered. 2 other suspects, one of whom is also called Haruna Tamba and Pap Ture, had allegedly fled the scene just before the officers arrived. Haruna Tamba, one of those arrested, is said to be the landlord of the compound where the suspected cannabis was hidden. Police PRO Superintendent Lamin Jai calls on the public to provide any information they may have on the whereabouts of the 2 other suspects still at large.
We cannot be able to uncover some of these situations without people sharing information with the police. In fact, we want to commend the public because this information was shared by a member of the public, and that was why the police were able to investigate and uncover this situation. Secondly, we want people also to not obstruct our officers when they go about with their search activities, especially when they have information like this. Oftentimes, we usually will encounter people coming out to obstruct officers, barring them from entering certain premises, even though they have genuine information to investigate. And so we want to...
He adds the police remain committed to curbing crime in the country. Commissioner Adeline Basanje, head of the Police Intervention Unit, also called on the public to support the police.
We therefore ask the community, the people living with these people around, to give us relevant information so that we can fight these crimes together. Drug, we all know, is very, very bad. Drug can lead people into doing so many criminal activities.
On the ongoing online reports of an alleged confrontation in Kotu on Monday night between members of the Operation Zero Crime, led by the police, and members of the National Guard's Operation Restore Sanity, the police PRO says the police have not officially received any such information, and that once available, the public will be informed accordingly. Meanwhile, he urges members of the public, especially young people, to remain law-abiding and desist from using or peddling drugs. Antoine Esonyasi for Qtv News.
Youth Movement for Civic Education, in partnership with the Anti-Corruption Coalition Gambia on Saturday, launched anti-corruption clubs at schools. Ajibin Tudrame has more on this report.
This initiative is to introduce anti-corruption curriculums in schools to help fight corruption to promote socio-economic and political development of the country. Launching the program at St. Charles Luanga Parish Hall in Fajekunda, Ismaila Jaju says the Gambia's demand for democracy is overdue and the formation of these clubs will complement government efforts to create an open, accountable and all-inclusive society for Gambians.
2 years of investigation revealed grand corruption of the highest magnitude since the Gambia became independent from Britain in 1965. This has initiated public demand for accountability and transparency with support from international partners. This is evident by a number of anti-corruption bills, including Anti-Corruption and Access to Information 2019 bills.
Mr. Jaju further stated that if action is not taken, corruption will remain a serious threat to our country's development and security. In 2017, the Attorney General's Chambers and Ministry of Justice of the Gambia, in partnership with the United Nations Office on Drugs and Crime and various national stakeholders, organized a forum to review the draft anti-corruption bill, where recommendations were discussed. Usainu Koli, alias Usainu Gambia, is regarded as a champion in promoting nationalism and patriotism, most especially in schools. He called for the unity which is represented by the Gambian flag.
Anti-corruption is a fight that all of us should be part of, so we all need to support this initiative. We all need to support the civic educations for it to move. But I'll tell you one word. There's a word. If we don't achieve that word, we cannot fight anti-corruption. And that is patriotism. Gambia diya, bugasarewi.
Thomas Kimaru, a representative of the UNDP country representatives, says the initiative is timely and a step towards creating future open societies empowered to address problems of corruption.
The fight against corruption should begin at school to instill the ethics of honesty, moral uprightness, and values of open and responsible governance among the children.
This project is earmarked in 4 regions, namely KMC, LRR, CRR, and URR. However, partners urge for more support to kick out corruption and hold stakeholders accountable, and call on the National Assembly to enact the access to information and anti-corruption bills. Unlike other acts passed in National Assembly, including those around child labor, the hope is the act will be enforced and implemented. Ajibintu Dwame, QTV News.
From that story, we will now take a short commercial break. But still to come, we have more local business and the big sports news as well.
Tobuski Act Style 4.0 coming soon on QTV. Sponsors invited.
Someone confirming that you are a Gambian, you're born in the village. Imagine if you have a fire, for example. Nobody in Banjul can give an attestation for the purpose of voter registration.
You missed the point.
Do you think it's going to be very hard to change the law?
No.
Exactly.
Is speculation or is it definite?
I mean, this is what I heard.
Is it the interest of the political parties for the IEC not to do the right thing?
IEC did not want it in the bill. And those bad laws are still in that book.
But in the case of Banjul, there is no alcalo or chief.
We may be having another political impulse.
Alcalos are giving attestation to minors, asking Senegalese to stay away from Gambian politics.
I'm not from the party. How can I know that?
No. Exactly.
We have a much better democratic dispensation. I can sit here and criticize President Bola and go home and sleep. And I guess that has also caused friction between the executive and the diaspora.
You know, the new Gambia, the Gambia have decided.
It's no new Gambia.
Okay.
Oh, new Gambia is a myth.
State of Affairs, airing tonight at 9 p.m. on QTV.
Welcome back, and if you're just joining us, this is QTV News. Justice Defenders on Friday certified 20 paralegals, including inmates at Mile 2 Central Prison and prison officers from various prison facilities across the country. This follows a 3-week intensive training program on law and court procedure, the first of its kind in the country. Anjumane Sonyasi has more.
Having gained the requisite basic knowledge on law, these paralegals, 12 prison officers and 8 inmates, are now expected to assist those facing injustice by providing legal guidance to inmates who need or may not have legal support during trials. While encouraging the graduates, Ansumana Mane, Director General of the Gambia Prison Service, and Alexander Macklin, founder of Justice Defenders, explained the significance of having trained paralegals within the country's justice system.
This is just the beginning of a lifelong journey ahead of you We rest our hopes on you. You are celebrated today as the first cohort of trainees to complete their Justice Defenders Paralegal training, unprecedented in the Gambia and West Africa. But let me ask you this: of what essence is this training when the knowledge acquired cannot be used to make a difference?
As the world looks to us in Uganda, in Kenya, and now in the Gambia, I believe that we can offer a message of hope. We can inspire those who look to us, because we're bringing change in our communities. Change in communities where change can be hard to come by.
Justice Oledi of the High Court and Salou Tal, President of the Gambia Bar Association, commended Justice Defenders for training the Gambia's first batch of paralegals. They say this will help inmates better understand court procedure and will also help those who can't afford a lawyer get the required legal guidance at little or no cost. They urge the graduates to make best use of the knowledge gained.
When I was called to facilitate the training of the maiden paralegals at Mile 2, what attracted me most was the Gambian legal system, the plight in providing justice to the vulnerables.
Today, the fact that we're here demonstrates that the Mile 2 of today is different from the Mile 2 of yesteryears. Today, who would have imagined in today's Gambia, we are hosting an event to graduate prisoners, serving inmates, and officers trained to assist their brothers and sisters to attain justice. I think if there's anything new about this Gambia, this is New Gambia.
Lamin Jai, representing the Solicitor General, handed over dozens of law books to the Director General of the Prison Service. He says this is a gesture from the Solicitor General for paralegals to be able to read more and acquaint themselves with other laws of the land. Other speakers also highlighted the importance of having trained paralegals within the criminal justice systems. Tida S. Kuyate, on behalf of the graduates, thanked Justice Defenders for availing them such opportunity. Friday's event was also attended by the Deputy Inspector General of Police, Ibrahim Bah, and representatives of the National Human Rights Commission, NALA, amongst others. Ansmale Sonyasi for Qtv News.
Now, the Food and Agriculture Organization, FAO, and implementing partners on Monday signed an over $2 million project to strengthen the organization of forest and farm producers to deliver climate-resilient landscape and improve livelihoods. Abipo Tusise has the rest of the story.
The three implementing partners are the National Coordinating Farmers Association, the Gambia, NACOFAG, the National Farmers Platform, the Gambia, and the Ministry of Environment, Climate Change and Natural Resources. The 8-month project will provide financial support and technical assistance to organizations like rural women's groups, local communities, and smallholder farmers. During the signing, Kaniman Kamara, the project consultant for Forest and Farm Facility Phase 2, highlights the successes and challenges during the first phase of the project and set out how those challenges will be addressed in the second phase.
At the end of Phase 1, we had still unaccomplished activities. One of the unaccomplished activities is ensuring that projects on the ANR, that is projects related to agriculture and natural resources, work together. This was not well addressed during Phase 1. You can see projects have this island approach to development. Each of the projects, once they are flagged to be up. So what we are going to do for Phase 2 is to ensure that these institutions work together with farmer-based organizations.
The FAO representative, Dr. Mustafa Sise, underscores the importance of the Forest and Farm Facilities project, saying that more than 1.5 billion smallholder farmers around the world depend on the sector for food and livelihood.
FAO, through a partnership called the Forest and Farm Facility, commonly just referred to as FFF, has been strengthening forest and farm producer organizations to secure their rights, organize their businesses, sustainably manage their forests, and provide social and cultural services to rural and marginalized communities.
Lamin Diba, The Minister of Environment, Climate Change and Natural Resources calls for collaboration between stakeholders to mitigate the effect of climate change and improve climate resilience.
It is important that this FFF project is taken up seriously by all of us, all players, even those subsidiary institutions that are not directly involved, but they are indirectly affected. All of us should come together and support this process. Dr. Cisse has highlighted the figures, how many people globally are dependent on these resources. So this resource must be carefully managed.
Sirif Bojang, the president of the National Farmers Platform, the Gambia, and Musa Sow, the president of NACOFAG, both explained ways in which the Forest and Farm Facility project will be implemented.
We look into value chains into vegetable production and how best we can enhance their production, productivity, and the income of the farmer as well.
For the past 2 years, we've had funds coming from our regional level on the FFF. And this is going to be an addition to what we require as support.
The project, when completed, is expected to build the capacities of farmers and improve their livelihood. For QTV News, I am Abibatu Cisse.
Now to business news. Startup Incubator Gambia, in collaboration with the United Nations Industrial Development Organization, UNIDO, on Tuesday certified 31 entrepreneurs who successfully completed the Start and Improve Your Business training program. Lole M. Camara reports.
The entrepreneurs went through the Start and Improve Your Business program, facilitated by Startup Incubator Gambia lead trainers, who have undergone rigorous training with the ECOWAS and the West African Competitiveness Program, funded by the European Union. The program coordinator at Startup Incubator Gambia, Mohamed Danso, said the Start and Improve Your Business training package is a management program developed by the International Labour Organization, focusing on staffing and improving small businesses to create more and better employment for women and men, particularly in emerging economies.
Some of these people do not have any business idea, but they are motivated to start a business. So we took them through a day of generating your business idea that has guided them to be able to generate viable business ideas. And then they spend another 3 days to actually walk through that business idea, try to plan the business idea, still using the DCM SIYB package to guide them to be able to develop a business plan.
Tom Sanger, a representative from United Purpose, congratulated the graduating entrepreneurs and stated his organization's aims and objectives in support of farmers.
The main objective of the project is to improve the production and productivity and also strengthen the capacity of farmers to be able to be more competitive in the regional markets and also in the national markets.
Testimonies were also heard from entrepreneurs who have completed the training.
My business has successfully been able to get our own place, and we have been able to implement most of the things that we learned from the training into the business.
They gave us an opportunity to understand how do you price your items. And this goes beyond what just happens at the market, but it goes into every aspect that you incur cost on to ensure that the business keeps running.
Amadou Gay, national expert on Wacom project, outlined the need to support several selected value chains at national and regional levels to promote structural transformation to provide better access to regional and international markets. He emphasized the need for more industrialization. Adelaide C., a business entrepreneur, gave a word of advice to the graduates, encouraging them to use the knowledge gained at the training to improve their businesses. Dikel Jallo, an entrepreneur who took part in the training, explains how the training has helped her set up her business.
I can say that I'm very happy that I chose to do entrepreneurship because they taught me and made me see the benefits I can gain from entrepreneurship. And I want to tell everyone out there who is watching me today that when you are into entrepreneurship, not just entrepreneurship, life itself, you can't just wake up and succeed. You need to fail to be able to pass.
Since its establishment in 2015, the Startup Incubator Gambia has continued to build more entrepreneurs, foster innovation, and stimulate economic growth.
Now to sports news, and the big story is that the long wait for Sierra Leone is now over. Sierra Leone have made it through to the Africa Cup of Nations after a hard-fought 1-0 victory over Benin this evening, and here is a short report.
It always seemed to be the match that would never be. Months after all the other 23 finalists for the next AFCON were known, Sierra Leone and Benin finally played their decider. Sierra Leone needed to win and overtake Benin, who only needed a draw. At first, the match was delayed in Freetown after several of the Benin squad tested positive for COVID-19 in Freetown, just days after they had all returned negative tests. The Benin team accused their hosts of foul play and refused to take to the field. African football's governing body, CAF, had to step in with a ruling that the match must be played on the 14th of June in Freetown. However, days before the game was due to kick off, the pitch at Sierra Leone's National Stadium was rightly ruled as unfit. On Monday, 14th June, as Sierra Leone players were warming up and 5 minutes before kick-off in Conakry, to where the match had been moved, there was yet more drama. 6 of the Sierra Leone squad, including 2 of their 3 goalkeepers, were told they had returned positive tests. This time, it was Sierra Leone who refused to take to the field. A compromise was eventually reached and the match was moved to Tuesday the 15th of June. A first-half penalty, needlessly conceded by the Benin captain, was coolly converted by Kai Kamara, and that remained the only goal. It was enough to send Sierra Leone to their first AFCON since 1996. For QTV News, I am Adi Darami.
Huge congratulations to Ceylon for qualifying for the Africa Cup of Nations. And now here is a public service announcement. Smile Train, in collaboration with the Westfield Clinic, is offering free surgeries for those with cleft lip or palate. Registration for free surgeries are on Thursday, 17th June, Sunday, the 20th of June, and Monday, the 21st of June from 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. on all these days, or on all those days rather. Surgery starts on Monday, the 21st of June by 8:30 a.m. on a first-come, first-served basis. The venue for those surgeries is the Westfield Clinic at Westfield Junction, close to Stop Step Pharmacy in Canifing Municipality. And that's all we have for you in tonight's news edition, but don't forget to join us at 10 for another bulletin. Have a pleasant evening.